He came back exactly 1 year after he left me. Same doorstep, same jacket, same smile that used to make everything feel okay. He said he had made a mistake. He said he missed me. He said leaving was the worst decision of his life. I looked at him for a long moment, and then I told him I had moved on. That was not the whole truth. The whole truth was so much better than that. My name is Lavra. I am 36 years old. I am a marketing manager from Manchester, and I am going to tell you the story of the man who threw away our marriage and came back to find a completely different woman standing at that door. Daniel and I had been married for 6 years when he asked for a divorce. 6 years. We had built a life together, a home, a routine, plans for children that we had been slowly working toward. I had reorganized my entire career around our life together. I had turned down a promotion that would have required relocating because we had agreed to stay in Manchester. I gave up a lot for that marriage, quietly and without complaint, because that is what you do when you believe in something. One Tuesday evening, Daniel sat me down and told me he was not happy. He said he felt trapped. He said he needed to find himself. He said he loved me but was not in love with me anymore. Every cliché. Every single one. I asked him if there was someone else. He said no. I asked him if he had tried. He said he had been trying for a long time. I asked him why he had not told me sooner, so we could have worked on it together. He did not have a good answer for that. The divorce took 4 months. Clean and quiet and devastating in the specific way that dismantling a life you built together is always devastating. He moved out. I stayed in the flat we had shared. For the first 2 months I could not sleep in our bed. I slept on the sofa with the television on because the silence was too loud. I went to therapy. I called my mother too many times. I cried in supermarkets and in my car, and once very memorably in a work meeting that I had to excuse myself from. And then somewhere around month 4, I stopped waiting to feel better and started deciding to be better. I went back to my manager and told her I was ready for the promotion I had turned down. She said the position had been filled, but there would be others. There was another 6 months later. I took it. It required some travel, but I was no longer reorganizing my life around someone else's comfort. I started saying yes to things I had been saying no to for years. A trip to Portugal with friends I had been cancelling on. An evening class in photography that I had always wanted to try. Dinner with people I had let drift because couple life had gradually narrowed my world. My world started expanding again. By month 8, I was genuinely happy. Not performing happiness. Not telling people I was fine when I was not. Actually happy in a way that felt earned rather than given. By month 12, I was a different woman than the one who had sat across from Daniel on that Tuesday evening. And then he knocked on my door. He looked the same. That jacket. That smile. He said he had been thinking about me every day since he left. He said he had tried to move on and could not. He said he had been wrong about everything, and he knew it now. He said he wanted to try again. I stood in that doorway, and I looked at the man I had spent 6 years loving, and I felt something I had not expected. Nothing. Not anger. Not longing. Not the old familiar pull that used to make everything complicated. Just nothing. Quiet and complete, and entirely at peace. I told him I had moved on. He asked me if there was someone else. I said that was not the point, which was the same answer he had given me a year earlier. I did not say that out loud. I did not need to. I told him I wished him well. I meant it, and I closed the door. I stood in my hallway for a moment after he left. The same hallway I had cried in a year ago. The same flat. Different woman. Here is what that year taught me. The most dangerous thing about a painful ending is the story you tell yourself about it. The story that says you are not enough, that you missed something, that the life you had was the best life available to you. Daniel leaving felt like the end of everything. It was the beginning of the only version of my life that was actually mine. I turned down a promotion once for a man who told me he needed to find himself. I found myself instead. And what I found was worth every single difficult day it took to get there.